What's up, y'all? Nefertiti the Corny Rainbow here, and today I have a sew along for you guys for the new McCall's 8558. This pattern features 3 different lengths, and for today's sew along, I'm going to be doing view C, which is the longest length on the pattern here. You are going to need some knit fabrics, so let's go ahead and get into the sew along. Grab pattern piece number 1. And this is your front and back. You should have cut out 2 of these. Go ahead and pin our front to our side back pieces. So grab 2 of your side back pieces, pattern piece number 2. And with right sides together, go ahead and pin on both sides, and you should have double notches on each side of your front piece. All right, I've got pattern piece number 1 pinned to pattern piece number 2. We're going to go ahead and pin the back the same exact way, and then we're going to stitch at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance for all of our seams. Let's go ahead and head over to the machine. All right, we're stitching at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, so I went ahead and I serged the seam allowance down here, and I pressed my seams towards the center. So what we're gonna do now is just attach the front to the back, and they're basically the same exact pieces. We're gonna be matching this single notch on both sides of our side seam. So let's go ahead and grab our back and pin with right sides together. All right, go ahead and head over to the machine and stitch your side seams together at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. You can also finish off your seams with your serger. All right, I've gone ahead and stitched down my side seams, and now we're gonna put the skirt to the side and work on our waistband. For your waistband, you should have 2 markings. This is where we're gonna leave an opening so that we can put our elastic on the inside. And just keep in mind that this opening is on our left side seam, okay? Let's go ahead and head over to the machine and stitch this down. All right, you can see we have our dots here. We're not going to stitch on this opening here. All right, so go ahead and press your seams open, and then we're going to fold at the fold line, match our notches, and we're going to baste down our waistband. All right, we're going to be using a basting stitch at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. There's our opening here. This is going to be the inside of our casing. All right, so once you've basted your waistband, we're going to go ahead and attach it to our skirt. And again, I have my casing that I formed, so this is going to go on the inside. So This is the side that we're pinning right side to the skirt. So match up your side seams and your notches. With the underside of your casing facing you, we've already pinned. We're going to go ahead and stitch the seam allowance down at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then we're going to stitch again at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. If you like, you can trim or serge down your seam allowance. So now we're going to cut out our elastic using our elastic guide. I've gone ahead and cut mine out and added a safety pin here so that we can slip it through the opening on the inside of our casing. And you can use your elastic guide pattern piece number 4 to assist with cutting out that elastic. Go ahead and feed it through the opening here. All right, so I've got my elastic through, and then I have this remaining here. So what I like to do is just kind of stretch it a little bit so that I can, enough that I can sew down, and then I'll straighten everything out. And you want to make sure that your elastic doesn't turn on the inside here. We're only going to be stitching the elastic together, and then we're going to slip stitch that opening closed. I'm going to be using a zigzag stitch. Go ahead and slip stitch the opening of your casing here. Go ahead and hem the bottom of your skirt. I decided not to hem the bottom of my skirt because I actually like the way that it looks left unhemmed with the raw edges, and because we are using a knit, it's fine. You don't have to hem it. We're all done. Thanks for sewing along with me.